Welcome to the Jamodi Podcast. We are all surrounded by amazing coaches and leaders. So let's get an inside look at not just what they do, but how they do what they do. After all, becoming the best versions of ourselves is Jamodi, just a matter of doing it. Coaches, we are all searching for ways to better evaluate players in order to give meaningful feedback. Over 15 years ago, I put together a test called the Jamodi Skill Rating. The JSR takes players through a series of tests involving basketball skill or athleticism, giving them one rating at the end. Their JSR rating will give you clarity on what needs to be discussed with players and parents on areas they need to focus on improving. I test our players at least 4 times each year. They're able to compete against each other, past players' scores, and most importantly, their past performances. If you'd like to start testing your athletes, email me at jamodipodcast@gmail.com for more information. Well, but I do want to go through the speed round with you.
What is that?
The speed round. These are quick questions. I feel like I know
thought
you.
You said Speedo.
I'm gonna send you a Speedo, and then you have to take a picture. This podcast just took a really weird turn there.
I could go with the Duke swim team. Isn't that the guys who do it? Isn't that like a 30 for 30 or something?
Oh yeah. I want to keep this podcast going, so that's not in the thing. But these are quick questions. First thing that pops in your head, just blurt it out. You ready?
Hold on a second. Yeah, I had to drink some tea there. Go
there
ahead.
You go. Favorite ice cream flavor?
Oh, Oreo. Cookies and cream. Easy.
Nice. The greatest shooter of all time?
Hold on a second. Can you rephrase the question?
Greatest shooter of all time.
I've coached or I've seen or be more
let's just go you've seen, and it could be somebody you coached, but I mean, it'd be hard to, I know you didn't coach Curry. It's hard to discount him in that role, but it's also, I mean, it's different for everybody.
Ray Allen.
Yeah. What do you think made him like the best?
His preparation and his ability to have the same exact shot every single time. And if you do the homework on it, the one he made in Miami, falling away into the corner.
Yeah.
But if you show the same exact shot from other one mores and different passes, if you show 20 of those shots, it was the same shot. It just happened to be coming from a completely
crazy angle. Yeah.
And the clock was, all those kind of things. But
he had done that shot before. It wasn't like that was something lucky.
Allen, And when you look at Stephen Curry, really, he's such an amazing shot maker from so many variant of ways. Ray Allen, if you remember, was never the guy with the ball in his hand.
That's right. He was more like Klay Thompson in a way. A lot more is created for him. Catch and shoot with such speed.
I heard this. You'll like this. Coaches went to Coach Scheidt's clinic at Florida. The corner shot was always talked about in our profession. Why is it the best shot in basketball? And everybody always says the same thing because it's the shortest. Even in college, it's short, right? It's 21, 7 and 7/8. It's 22, 1 3/4. Everywhere else, whatever. It's 22 in the league. It's, 20, 23 and change. So it's the shortest. Everybody used to always say that. But this guy said this, and you'll like this. It's not only the shortest, but it's also the most it's the most catch and shoot shot that there is in basketball. Because there's nowhere to go. You literally have nowhere to go. It's catch and shoot. And the other one is, it's as least contested a shot as any 3-point shot in basketball. So last year, I did a clinic the other day on Zoom. I don't have it in front of me. It's on one of my Zoom things. I think we shot 47% from one corner and 43 from the other. It's just uncontested because think about that. Elbows and blocks.
Yep.
Those guys are rotating out, from a pretty far place. And if you get people in the rotations because of that back cut, right? You got that back cut, that Princeton dribble at, and maybe you just get a throw behind. It's just a long way to go. So I thought that was interesting.
I do love that.
Ray Allen is just, if you watch his preparation, and we tell our guys this, Matt, and think about this your own self. Parker Smith is in the Hall of Fame. Like one of our assistants, he used to say he's a better shooter when dudes are draped on him, fouling him, and all that stuff than he is when he's wide open, licking his finger and checking the wind. And right, so what we try to teach guys and try to communicate to guys is there's no such thing as two different shots.
Mm.
Like every single shot, opened or contested. Like, and that's why we've led the country and made threes 2 years, two of our championship years, 2 of the last 6 years or whatever it was. Last year, if you'd have counted the game, they didn't count. We were fourth, but we would have been second and made threes. But like we really try to be permanent pivot foot, and we really try to be same shot, same rhythm, same rhythm. Well, coach, it doesn't matter if you're open, it's a different shot. So you're going to stay after practice and make, 100 of those and then 100 of those. Like, so that's something that we do. And that's what I respected about Ray Allen. Not that I disrespect anybody else, but to answer your question, that's what I think was, made him a little bit different.
Best basketball movie of all time.
Movie. So it's hard not to say Hoosiers because of Coach. And I actually was in Greensboro College when it came out, and when I saw it, shout out to Scott Groninger. He brought me over to the house or something, or I don't remember. But it was something to do with him and Hoosiers. It's hard to say that one, but I have referenced One-on-One, which you've probably never seen, or you have seen.
I haven't seen it, but so many coaches have mentioned that, and it's not an age thing, but older coaches.
Up yours with a red hot poker is one of the famous scenes. And basically it's about a kid that was great, but once you get to college, everybody's great.
Yep.
And the coach, I think, and the other day I showed Coach Evans a clip from Fast Break. I don't know if you remember. Fast Break was with Kaplan. Is his name Gabe Kaplan, or what was the guy from Welcome Back, Kotter? And Bernard King was in it. And there was a comedian in it. He's Coach. What was that famous comedian's name in Fast Break? Anyways, there was a famous comedian in it as well too. It was about a guy who Gabe Kaplan became the coach, or Gabe Carter, whatever his name is, became the coach, and he went and got all these different pieces and put them together, and they ended up beating the UCLA of the show. Yeah, people that no one said blue chips. I hope.
A few people have.
Okay.
People have.
Yeah, people like that John Deere with that little bag over there with.
That's right. Texting or talking?
Texting.
Does Florida high school basketball, do they have a shot clock?
That's not a speed question, right?
Well, no, I'm just asking them, do they have one?
Let's go backwards to the texting or talking.
Okay.
I am probably the worst texter in the world. Pretty close. And my guys would make fun of me all the time. But the other day, I was texting our head of officials, and I was asking them about tenths on the clock, because it's a rule this year. And I asked them if it had a correlation between, does the shot clock have to have it as well? And if it does, because I was out there doing all this testing and all this stuff. And I sent him this text, and he said to me, Coach, I don't understand what you're asking me. And I read it, and I'm like, so our players know, and I tell our guys, if I text you something and it doesn't make sense, just say to me, Coach, don't say yes or thumbs up or whatever. Like, say to me, like, Coach, this makes sense. So texting, I just wish I was better at it. Shot clock, no. Georgia, yes.
Okay, so the question is, for high school, because Texas doesn't have one, for high school basketball, shot clock or no shot clock?
That was easy.
My goddaughter gave me that.
Nice.
First championship in 2014.
That's awesome. Yeah.
I don't even think I've changed the batteries.
What's your favorite holiday?
Is your anniversary a holiday?
Sure. I think so. Yeah. You better say that now that you said it.
No, I mean, probably if I really thought about it, it probably would be Thanksgiving.
Hmm.
Um, probably Thanksgiving. It's funny. You don't realize, how, and apparently this is a great book, by the way. Have you read it?
Redeeming your time. No.
Jordan Rayner is big time, allegedly. So, I think it's a New York bestseller. It's
Oh, I love it. I put a list together of all the books that coaches mention or talk about, and
good.
yeah,
I'm glad you said mention because I told the guy when he gave it to, I'm not going to read this. Like I don't read books. I'm not a reader. I
yeah,
don't disrespect to you. Coach read it and gave me the Cliff Notes. Carrie read your other one, and
it's okay.
I can't imagine to show you how many pictures she took that she was sending me. She does these arrows.
Mm.
And she arrows it, and she's got all these arrows coming. I'm like, I've never read Coach's book, even though I'm in there, whatever.
You are, yeah.
But what was I telling you?
About that book, you're not going to read it. Yeah.
No. What were we just talking about? You got me completely whacked out about reading and not reading. A lot of coaches.
Favorite holiday. Favorite holiday.
So Chase, we're on the road a lot because we bring in so much money. So we're usually like this year we're playing LSU the day after Thanksgiving. So usually that's a money game. And so we spend a lot of days, on the road. And so you always talk, what are you thankful for? And, those kind of good things. And Chase, my oldest, when he played for us, when he was a freshman, and it's hurtful. That's why I brought the book up, and it talks about balance and all that kind of stuff when he said it, but he didn't mean it. But he's like, it's nice to spend Thanksgiving with my father. And I'm up there in the front of the thing, and I'm half emotional, and then I'm half pissed off. You know what I mean? And I'm like, gee, Merry Christmas. So, but I think, this is going to sound odd to you, but I'm just an odd kind of a person. If I get an opportunity, I want to be with Carrie. And I say this, and it's not a joke, but like, there's a lot of times she doesn't want to be with me, not in the sense that she doesn't want to be with me, but like, she's got stuff to do.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to utilize, maybe I got an opportunity to be with her. And she's like, well, like, that's great, but
it's good for your schedule, but it's not necessarily good for her schedule. Yeah.
But this is even during the, May, June, July.
Mm-hmm.
When I'm not and not that there's anything wrong with it, because there's not. I'm not a golfer. I'm not, Coach is obviously a great fisherman. I'm not a drink guy. And so
I don't have a lot of hobbies. I do like to work out, even though it feels like I'm getting injured more and more. But my favorite thing to do is to hang out with Jana. That's my favorite thing to do. But the cool thing is, like, she, especially because our jobs align really well. She's in education as well, so we have the same days off. We have all this, but there are, like, I have a lot of friends, especially from kind of a previous life that I still know and talk to, but they still do things with each other. And I just found that life is pretty simple now. It's revolved around the game. And when it's not, it's revolved around family. And I'm good with that.
Yeah. So it's funny you said that. So a guy just came in town that I grew up with, and he came into golf. And I said to Carrie, I'm like, he asked him, do I want to go get a drink with him tonight or whatever? And I probably shouldn't have said it the way I said it in the text, but I'm like, I basically, like, I said, like, I don't drink.
You didn't have to drink with him. I mean, you could go with him. Yeah.
That's what he said. Exactly.
I mean, come on, Coach. Like, go have a water. Like,
he said, I can show you the text. He said, Drisp, you can have a soda or water.
Yeah.
I'm like, and then I thought to myself, you idiot. Like, why would you say that? Of course I could.
But
I think I might have said, I don't drink, but I'd love to spend some time. I think I might have said something like that.
Sure. Yeah.
But I think he just read, I don't drink. And like I was whatever. Anyways, so that, that it is what that is or whatever. But I don't know. So when holidays and all those things, it's like, if I can be with Carrie and be around her and whatever that looks like.
This is a question. You're up 3 on defense with 7 seconds left. Do you foul or no foul?
So 2011, and this is where you, as an assistant or as a scout, right? We did it 4 games in a row and won all 4 games. And I tell our guys, like, you would think these
people, you fouled.
Yes. Oh, yeah. We've always done that.
Yeah.
Now, every once in a while, there's a scenario. For instance, Florida Gulf Coast at home one year, it was a side OB. We were fouling the catch because they were going full court. And so when they threw the ball, we actually deflected it out of bounds in front of their bench, which means now when they did it, whoever caught it was going to shoot it. So we couldn't. So at that point, we had to change our philosophy.
Yeah.
Which is a rarity. I still do. I'll always do it. Good or bad, whatever. I'm just telling you information. I've been a special situations guy. I've spoken a gazillion times about it because I did it one time, and then I still use a lot of the clips that you've seen. I've tried to get away from the grainial things and tried to get into some better video, but
yeah,
I mean, still Bryce Drew dribbling up with 1 dribble per second, and we don't call timeout until it's below 4, and Bryce gets the miss and drives full court and throws that runner in against somebody at home and runs off the floor. Book out and Gray. Was it Drew Lavender? Maybe he went against Kansas State. He went coach. You know what else I still show? Remember when Kansas State, when the guy caught the ball and started walking in the tournament and doing this to the crowd, and they called travel, and Colorado took the ball out on the side and they banked in a 3 to win? I still show that. I still show that clip every single year.
Yeah.
And so, I don't even know, how did we get on special situation? Oh, foul 3. So, and I show Texas when they filed AC Law.
Yeah.
And then I show now, because I've been here 15 years, now I show us.
Oh, your clips, yeah.
Just us, doing it and
yeah,
running those full court stuff. And, us being successful and not successful of getting it, or Northwestern tips it. And so the other guy had, practice that, right? Dallas was wide open. We might have been able to tie it, but Bebe had to chuck it up and turn it because when the guy tipped it, the clock started. So you coach through those things, and you try so hard, to do those things. And then in the reality of it, it becomes a little bit difficult. And the Northwestern not probably is the game in 2014 that, in our eyes as coaches looking back, was the game that we knew this team was special, because we lost, should have beat them. Number 14, whatever his name was, made a pull up from like 12 feet. But our guy, it was the first time our guy, because I know a little bit about our program or whatever, but we always play 6 to 7 money games a year. And we never won any, we're just getting crushed, right? And so this particular group was better, and then that happened, and they were so upset. And Chris Davenport, I'll never forget, was crying, not like that way, but he was crying. And I'm like, what are you doing? And he's like, we gave his game away. It was one of those kind of cries.
Yeah.
And I'm like, whoa. And so I can't remember the exact date of that game. Let's say it was definitely in November, because on December I can't read it because I'd have to walk. Purdue. Anyways, December something 6th or something like that. We beat Purdue at Purdue, and we were down 7 under the last media, and under a minute to go, we were up 7. But my point is, that's when I knew that this group was turning. Just from a talent was always there, not always. Talent was there,
Yeah.
but you got to have that. You got to have that separator. We tell our guys all the time, when talent's equal, character's going to separate you. But you got to have that ability, you know. And that was the game, that Northwestern game.
Two more.
Yes, foul.
2 more. Name a bucket list item you still need to do.
I don't have one. I just don't have those things. I probably need to.
Favorite place to travel?
Italy.
Nice.
It was. We literally were just talking about this the other day. We keep trying to go somewhere else, but it keeps coming back to Italy. Bucket list. Yeah, I'm not sure I can answer that.
That's fair. You can always pass. Last one. Well, I'm going to ask you this one because you're such an energetic person. If you have caffeine throughout the day, I already know the answer, but I'll ask it for anybody else. If you're having caffeine, how do you take it?
Throughout the day?
Yeah, is it coffee only, or you got sodas too? I know you do your Dunkin' Donuts. I know.
No, yeah, these things. I don't say they're for caffeine, so to speak, but you know those things.
Oh, the mints. Yeah.
Well, I'll before practice, I'll always take one of those. But I'm a big vitamin C guy. Like I'll take out to practice.
Yeah.
But I know this has got, and I don't do it because it's got a lot of sugar, but probably do subliminal. Yeah. I went to one Dunkin'. I only do one Dunkin' a day.
How do you drink it?
3 cream, 6 Splenda, extra large, 24 ounce. Yeah.
Wow.
I don't know if you can say it's tea. So that's what I make out of that back there.
Okay.
This tea coming out of there.
So you have a lot of different modes that you're, throughout the day.
I guess. Yeah. I'm not, no. I'm a big water guy.
Yeah.
But no sodas. Just a Splenda.
Yep.
Would be the deal.
Last one in basketball, as far as players go, who is the GOAT? Which I know I don't think you like that question.
Doesn't matter, Jordan. Doesn't matter. I just in any sport, in any profession, actually, who's the GOAT of business? Is it Buffett? Is it Bezos? Is it Musk? Is it what's his name? Zuckerbucker? Is it like you know what I mean? You can go down the list and do whatever you want to do. But the thing.
But why do you say Jordan?
The reason why I think Jordan is, and I think what's hard is you say, well, eras.
Sure.
But eras are what they are. And you can't say if Michael was playing now, it would be yada, yada, yada. I think the reason why he's the greatest is because the way he had to play, when he had to play, the way he had to play, elevated his game, elevated who he was, took his natural competitiveness to a level that is super scary.
Mm-hmm.
He would play nowadays, that might not ever come to fruition.
Yeah, he might not be driven to reach that level.
Beat up and beat down, and
that's a good point.
Might be on 5 different teams and floating around, but he was like, and that just continually just more and more and more. So, and you hear the stories now because of the Last Dance, the real stories about that in and of itself. So I don't know if this era or the era when Sam Jones, 10-time champion Sam Jones from the Boston Celtics, who passed away, unfortunately. I'm gonna tell you a quick funny story about that. He lived here, and he befriended me and yada yada yada. And he passed away, right? So we're up in Boston, right? And we're so remember I told you Wajid, let me see if I can show you. That's Wajid, right there. So there's Wajid, and so that's Al Farouk's brother, right? And so we're up marrying Wajid, and we get done. So we go to have you ever heard of Gloucester? Gloucester? Gloucester. I might be saying it wrong. You ever watch the show Wicked Tuna?
No.
Have you ever heard of it?
No.
Wicked Tuna?
I've not heard of Wicked Tuna.
Okay. Anyways, it's like one of the National Geographic. It's like one that it's basically dudes out fishing for tuna.
Okay.
So like that one show.
Not a big fish guy, fishing
yeah, me
guy.
either.
So
I'm not a Wicked Tuna guy until, anyways, we go to Gloucester. Forget Wicked Tuna. That's another part of the story. It was awesome. So we leave and we got a flight. So on the way to the airport, I wanted to ride along the coast, and we went by this town called Salem, Massachusetts. Have you heard of Salem?
Mm-hmm.
You know what it's known for?
Well, the witch trials, is that the same place?
So I can't make this up. This comes from the I can't make it up file. We park the car, we get out, and we're going to walk to downtown, grab a sandwich, see what this whole place is about. And it was like, it was very, very, there's a lot of people. So it was very active. I get a text. I can't make this up, Val, from Sam Jones. And he had already died. He had died like 9 months earlier, maybe, or something like that. Matt, I'm telling you, we parked the car. We got out and started working. My phone buzzes. I looked on, and it's from Sam Jones. And what had happened was his daughter was inviting everyone to a deal here for his Jacksonville. He had lived here, and he had a lot of people that loved him, especially when Gladys died. He just had a lot of people that loved him. Anyways, how about that? And I mean, I'm just like, you gotta be kidding me. Sam Jones.
And where you were at the time.
Yeah. That was perfect. Yeah, it was perfect. What was the question?
Well, we hit it. Basketball, who's the GOAT? You said Jordan. Somehow we got to Sam Jones sending you a text from beyond.
Because his era. If Jordan would have played in Sam Jones's era, there were what, 8 teams?
Yeah.
So, back then you were the elite of the elitist. There were very few teams even to play on.
Yeah, that's true.
So it just, I just think Jordan because of that reason.
Thank you for checking out today's episode. Please take a moment to subscribe to this podcast, share it with your fellow coaches, and find us on social media for what's coming up next on the Jamodi Podcast. It's just a matter of doing it.